Nicole Malliotakis, nice to have you back on Good Day New York.
Good to be with you.
You represent this district. When did you find out, and what does this mean?
Well, this is the second week in a row. It was a Friday news dump where we got a call right before close of business letting us know that another shelter would be opening up in the district. And I've been repeatedly telling the mayor and now the governor on Friday that we need to stop this. He's misinterpreting the right to shelter law. They need to challenge it. The right to shelter law is meant for homeless New Yorkers. It was never meant for individuals who just entered into our country crossing our border last week. And under the mayor's interpretation of this law, all 6 million people who've entered our country illegally, if they request shelter, they would be entitled to it. If all 8 billion people on the planet came to New York City saying they needed shelter, they would have to provide the free shelter at the taxpayers' expense.
Where's Senator Schumer?
It makes absolutely no sense.
Where's Senator Schumer? Because every Sunday he does a beautiful press conference. Did he talk about this yesterday?
I'm glad you brought him up because it's very frustrating that the House Republicans have passed a border security bill that actually does what the CBP agents tell us they need. They want to roll back to President Trump's policies that had stemmed the flow. They want to add more individuals to not process paperwork, but to actually secure our border and add technology as well. So our bill is pretty comprehensive. It does exactly what the people on the ground are telling us, yet Senator Schumer and the Senate have not taken on any measure. At least pass your own bill if you don't like ours, and let's reconcile. But what this president has done via executive order needs to be overridden by Congress because there's no end in sight unless the president rolls back his executive orders that have created this mess.
Well, Representative, there are some media outlets that say Biden's border policies now that they're changing maybe even more, I guess, strict than what Trump's were. And this is some media outlets. I'm saying some. What do you say to that?
Well, I wish that were the case, but the numbers, look at the numbers that we continue to see. And it's not just the individuals who are entering our country claiming asylum, which, by the way, only a third of them are actually legitimate asylum seekers if you look at the court data that has come out in these hearings. But you have this fentanyl streaming in. In President Biden's first year, 26% increase in fentanyl, overdoses, rather, here in the city of New York. Drug cartels are the ones that are actually benefiting from this policy that the president has in place. $13 billion a year as a result of their human trafficking and their drug trafficking. And so it's not safe for individuals who want to come to the United States to take this treacherous journey. We shouldn't be incentivizing it. And all I hear from the governor and the mayor and the people like Councilman Justin Brannan in Brooklyn, who's the finance chair in the city council, is they want more money. They want more money to continue this.
Well, how does this change the political landscape of the area that you represent? Because as of now, I understand that you probably want to spend less. This would have, absolutely just make you spend more.
Well, I will not support another dollar coming to New York City to encourage this, to allow this to continue. If New York City gets more funding for these housing and these tents that they're asking for, like Justin Brannan and the others have been requesting from us, they will just continue to add more shelters. They will continue to turn more hotels into shelters and add more tents in our parks. Now that's a new thing. They want to look at Floyd Bennett Field, and even Central Park was being considered the other day. I mean, this is outrageous and it needs to stop. And I'm the daughter of immigrants. We have a process in place. We have laws in place. We have to follow those laws. We can increase the number of visas for work, right? We can increase the number of visas for family-sponsored visas. We have to add more judges to hear these cases to differentiate between true asylum seekers and those who aren't. But what they're doing right now cannot continue. It's absolutely unsustainable. And the New Yorkers are the ones hurting the most right now because they're seeing city services cut. You're seeing kids being tossed out of their gymnasium now to make room.
That's what I was asking about Coney Island, because that is a gym that the kids use. I know it's freestanding from the school, but where do they go? I mean, we're talking about obesity, kids need to lose weight, and now we're telling them they can't go to the gym.
And this is why the mayor and the city council members have to challenge this right to shelter. It is never intended for, as I said, citizens of other countries. It was meant for homeless New Yorkers.
Let me ask you, the Homeland Security Secretary went on TV yesterday and said things at the border are doing so much better. He said half the amount of people are coming across the border. What do you know?
I will tell you that the numbers aren't lightening up. I don't know what
he said they're lightening up.
Listen to the Customs and Border Protection Union. They will tell you the truth. Follow them on Twitter. They are showing you exactly what is happening. If you see the videos, the numbers are actually expected to go up this week. And it's not. And what they've done is given control of our border over to the drug cartels. That is the reality of what's happening, which is why Mayorkas needs to resign or be fired or be impeached. But he needs to be removed because he's not doing his job.
And didn't they catch somebody recently trying to sneak take over?
Just this weekend we heard about another individual on the terror watch list, and someone else had gotten in. An Iranian national had gotten into the interior, and it was because of the Texas Department of Safety that he was found.
Yeah.
But who's among the 1.2 million gotaways that they have no idea who they are and what their intentions are?
40,000 a week.
That's what concerns me the most.
Let me ask you, though, what do you feel about President Biden taking this 8-day vacation to South Pacific? While he knew Title 42 was going to expire, he knew this was happening for a while, but he's going to be like, see, I'm going to be gone for 8 days. What does that say?
He's just completely checked out. It's not just this issue. We have a debt limit crisis that is pending. The House, again, passed legislation to address the debt limit issue, raise the debt limit, but also put in place some fiscal reforms to put us on a path for fiscal responsibility and pay down our debt. But they are not negotiating with our speaker. And quite frankly, they had the opportunity to raise a debt limit in December when they jammed through that additional $1.2 trillion package, and they chose not to do it then. They dumped it on House Republicans' lap. We passed a bill. We're the only ones responsible enough to actually pass legislation to address this crisis and prevent a default and also lower our spending. I don't know, they're just totally checked out. And I don't see Schumer taking up a bill on that. I don't see him taking up legislation on energy independence like we did to lower energy costs for Americans. And I don't see them taking up anything to secure our border.
Well, it is frustrating because we're seeing it everywhere, and you know, our heart goes out to them. Like you said, we're all, you know, the product of immigrants, but there's a way to do it, right?
That's absolutely the case, and we are being taken advantage of right now. And as I said, 2/3 are denied asylum when they get to their court date. And now you have the New York City, by the way, ICE court. It's 10-year backup. Yeah. I mean, so how can we continue this policy?
Or let them work too. The other problem is you go go see these hotels, and you'll see these young people outside the hotels with nothing to do. Let them work.
Yeah, absolutely. Giving individuals opportunity to work is a good idea, but we need to stem the flow first and give it proper way. Employer-sponsored visas. That's the way we should be going about this.
All right. Thank you so much, Congresswoman Nicole Malliotakis. We appreciate you coming on and giving us your perspective.
Yeah, appreciate it.
All right. When we come back, Tina Savasio will have